folds first? Bill Belichick at North Carolina or Deion Sanders at Colorado? Let's discuss it. What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. If this is your first time watching Adapt and Respond, thank you for joining us here. We talk college football year round. If that is something you're into, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like this video, and answer the question in the comments below. You have to choose. Which head coach do you believe among these two will fold first? Bill Belichick at North Carolina or Deion Sanders at Colorado? I'm also going to take this opportunity to remind you we got an audio podcast on Spotify and Apple. And for those that are willing to go there, subscribe to the shows, put 5-star reviews at Apple, 5-star review at Spotify, and then fill out the form in the description below, I'm going to send you one of these stickers in the mail. And I've already decided, I think we're going to make each one of these stickers limited edition, meaning that no batch of stickers is going to be the same. They're going to all have the same logo, but we're going to do a little something different to basically commemorate when you decided that you were going to help us out with the audio podcast in a very big way. There are no ads there. It's now 3 days a week. It's about 30 to 40 minutes in length. So if you like to consume the show that way, or there's some segments that you would otherwise just like to listen to as opposed to watching me talk about them, that's one way to do it. I wanted to talk about Bill Belichick and Deion Sanders because I find the two of them fascinating. I think both of these men are approaching a job that they had never performed before from totally different angles, and both have the constitution, the intellect, the staff, and the backing to be successful. At Colorado, you've already seen this. Last year, Deion Sanders finished 9-4 with the Heisman Trophy winner, a 4,000-yard passer, a first-round draft pick, and he has succeeded in getting another 5-star in a quarterback in Julian Lewis to join up, a really great dual-threat quarterback in Caden Salter, who we think is going to be the guy, and put around him even better staff. Robert Livingston, great defensive coordinator. Pat Shurmur, great offensive coordinator. Now you got Byron Leftwich helping you with your quarterback room as quarterback coach, Marshall Faulk as your running backs coach, Warren Sapp as defensive line coach. We keep going on. And then at North Carolina, we've got the best NFL coach of all time, who, after he was unceremoniously fired, winning 6 Super Bowls for the New England Patriots, took some time, did some media, found out he wanted to coach, but not necessarily in the NFL. He wanted to coach college football, believing that this was the moment. And North Carolina sniffed this and decided to go do it. And they didn't even consult the athletic director in Bubba Cunningham before they did. They just went and hired him. Now they got a bylaw at North Carolina that mostly bans the Regents from acting this way, from wilding out, trying to go get the dude, and then paying Bill Belichick $10 million annually to be their head coach. And with him, though, you have comes a NFL-style front office, Michael Lombardi leading that as their general manager, but also his girlfriend, Jordan Hudson, who we can't seem to not talk about and we can't seem to leave alone. I know in print, people read about that lady. I know that there's at least 1 or 2 shows where if she's the subject, the segment performs. I don't lean that hard in that direction, though I think we've done a few segments that are around this, but mostly because she is indicative of a kind of Belichick that we've never seen before. The guy at New England would say, do your job. Let somebody else do all the social media. Let somebody else do all the talking. You do your job. Whatever that job is, do it very well. And he would make it simple. And he would be able to find these guys that, frankly, had 1 or 2 skill sets that nobody else could make into something that was productive and make them productive, right? Some of them turn into absolute stars. I just think about what he'd been able to do at that slot receiver position. Like Julian Edelman is the guy that people think about. I think about Deion Branch. Sometimes think about Troy Brown going both ways. I think about Gunnar Olszewski, or finding a gem in Danny Woodhead, or turning Lawrence Maroney into a guy, or Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis. You know, just that eye for talent and what you can do with it. Tom Brady, 6th-round draft pick, and being able to turn that into a winner, that's what you're going to have to do at North Carolina. Because you look up and down that roster, there isn't a bona fide star there, right? The last bona fide star they had is gone. It's Omarion Hampton. And I would argue not enough people knew just how nasty that dude was as a tailback at North Carolina playing for Mac Brown. He was nasty. The last guy that came out coming out of the superstar, Drake May, right? And then you could talk about what Josh Downs was or wasn't. De'Ami Brown was or wasn't. My goodness, Michael Carter, Javonte Williams. They've had guys like Larry Fedora did a great job with this program. So he's got something there, but do we think it's going to last? Like, he's going to coach through this year. We know that much. I think how they play in that Texas Christian game is going to give us a national take, right? We'll take a lot from that, and then we'll see. If they keep winning, we'll keep talking about them. If they don't, we might look up and not be talking about them. We might look up and see that they're like Syracuse and won 10 games. I'm not really throwing age into this so much as I'm asking which guy gets tired of it first. It doesn't seem like Prime is getting tired of it. And it's time. Prime has got lots of data to show. He likes what he's doing and he's good at it. That's a good way to ensure you keep doing it. He did it at Jackson State. He's doing it at Colorado. And now that he is doing it without one of his sons on the roster, I don't see a reason for him to stop. Like, he wants to make the college football playoff. That is a goal. That is stated ambition. They get there. They want to win. He wants to play for national championships. I'm sure Bill Belichick wants nothing less, but how hard is it going to be for him? How long is it going to take? I'm going to compare him to Deion. If they go better than 4-8, I'm going to call that a really good year for North Carolina. If they don't go 9-4 the next year, I'm going to ask some questions. I'm sure somebody else will, because Deion Sanders needs to prove return to get to 10 mil, right? He had a Heisman Trophy winner, tied atop the Big 12 championship, finished out of the tiebreaker, plays in the Alamo Bowl against a great BYU team, and has brought in so much money to the place that you can sustain $10 million from Colorado. Bill Belichick getting $10 million through the door, and that has energized the fan base, so they're getting a lot of that money back. But now you have to prove to folks on the field that you can go win. And if they can do that, I see no reason why he can't stay and or earn that $10 million just by winning 8, 9, 10 games. Because winning 8, 9, 10 games at North Carolina is success. That's great. That's amazing. Only thing you can't do is let James Madison drop 70 on your skull, no matter how many points you score. You can't embarrass people at North Carolina because they know it's a basketball school, but they also would like to play for conference championships. They would like to be in the mix at the end for a college football playoff spot. If Belichick can do that, and he can do that next year, I think he's going to be here around. But I would be remiss if I say maybe Bill Belichick just wanted to do the experiment, right? Maybe he just wanted to try this out, see how it goes, see how successful it could be. Because if he's super successful, he'll stay. But Steve Spurrier, South Carolina, is an example of a guy that just kind of left, decided I didn't want to do this no more because I don't like it. It's not fun. How long until Bill Belichick decides it's not fun? How long until Bill Belichick looks around and says, I'm in my 70s. What am I doing here? And how long until he and Jordan Hudson get tired of us talking about him? Drama that people assign to the, quote, circus from a Big 12 assistant at Colorado. Please, this is nothing like that. The drama that's going on at Chapel Hill, that is what y'all need to be investigating. Because what's going on at Prime is they get eyeballs. They win games. What's going on at UNC is, what is Bill Belichick doing? What is his girlfriend doing? Are they going to win any games? I don't know, dog. Let me know in the comments below.